Looks like DL Hughley and Marcellus Wiley are getting into it a little bit. And this conversation was a conversation that sparked my interest, which is why I'm back. And it feels good to be back. Welcome back. Sam Ant, CEO of the brand Viral Hip Hop News. Let's get to work. All right. So, like I said, it's been a little bit. We'll get into that for another topic for another day. It feels good to be back up in here with you guys. It feels good to get back with the channel flowing, getting back into some stories, getting back into some real perspective. I'm looking forward to getting back and getting busy again. So, something that caught my attention today was Marcellus Wiley. Now, he's a former NFL defensive tackle. Now he's doing his media thing. He was in ESPN for a while. I think he might have been at Fox for a little while. Definitely an opinionated brother. Definitely a brother that is not going to conform to the status quo of what he feels like black should be. I loved him as a football player. I definitely respected his work in the media field and respect him as a man for being able just to stand on his 10 toes for what he believes in, represent himself no matter what anybody has to say, no matter what people feel about it, whether that be black or white. I salute him for that. We've been talking about DL Hughley on this platform for a long time. Respect him as a comedian, respect him as a man, but definitely have given him his criticism when it's come to his political stance, his political views. He's very loud around voting season, presidential campaign season. He's very vocal going against black people who don't go get Democrat in particular, whether that be you're going Republican, independent. If you're not going Democrat in particular, he definitely goes at your neck. We've came out and talked about it plenty of times, so we feel like he's played off. He's a political pawn, yada, 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 right? I haven't done it in a while because, and we laid it out on the table. It was what it was. Been doing it for years. Well, today, Marcellus Wiley said some things that definitely caught my attention. I'm going to play that. But before I do, I want to give a little context to the situation. These two have been going back and forth for a little bit now. I'm going to play a video of DL Hughley going at Marcellus Wiley, and then I'll play the clip of what I saw earlier, Marcellus Wiley going at DL, and why I thought it was very, very important. I don't know the order in which these videos came. I don't know if Marcellus did his video first and then DL followed up, or vice versa. But I'm going to play it from DL to Wiley for my own reasons. But without further ado, let's hear what DL Hughley had to say about one Marcellus Wiley.
Now, Marcellus Wiley, I know something you don't want to do for sure is to go back and forth about people's past.
Here's your negative issues you haven't gotten over yet. Yeah, I'm going to be your therapist, partner. Here's your bad life lessons that you still living under. When you join a gang, what happens to you? You feel tougher because it's a bunch of y'all. Mob mentality. And here's another thing. You also are a part of a pack. You got to live on code. Oh, don't. I lived in it. Right there. I was right there. Yeah, you got to be on code. You got to walk a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way in the group. Familiar? Now you're 60 and now your gang is Democrats. Now your gang is the DNC. Banging on anybody else who ain't sounding the same, looking the same, acting the same, talking the same, walking the same. Scared ass kid. Still in the gang and just gonna switch it up from Crips or Bloods to some damn Democrat or Republican. Grow up. Second thing is you are a dropout. Me and you ain't the same. I'm not acting out those traumas. I ain't acting out like I gotta be a part of a gang or a pack or act a certain way. I ain't on code. I do the code. I write my own code, damn it. Talking about drop out. And look, me, while you doing all that growing up in the same neighborhood as me, you're a little older, in the same neighborhood as me, guess what I'm doing? Putting my head down, looking at them damn books, going to practice, avoiding the gangs, not trying to get jumped every other day so I could become who I want to be. What is that, Marcellus? Wherever the hell I want it to be.
I hear Marcellus Wiley, I'm reminded of a quote by Oscar Wilde, and he said that every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. And they interpreted that to mean that regardless of what you did in your past, that redemption is possible. You reference the things that I've done in my past, the things that I've done to hurt people, the things that I've done to do damage. But what are you doing now? What things do you do now to make things better? Who do you throw your support behind? Like, to me, I think that the gang now I support is the 350,000 black women who've lost their jobs, or the federal workers who are now unemployed, or the people who are being spirited away and denied human rights because of the color of their skin or the language they speak. When I was a kid, I believed that you should throw your support behind the most powerful people because that will keep you safe. But now I understand that it's the things you do for people that can't do anything for you that matters. Your past or mine. I can guarantee you there are things that you've been accused of in your past you don't want to talk about. So let's keep it off past. Because suffice it to say, both of us have done things we're not proud of. Both of us have done things we either have atoned for or should. So let's stay where we are right now. I'm no more a gang member and a dropout than you are a football player. But where I am now, yeah, you graduated from Columbia. But do you think you're that much more intelligent than me? We both do the same things. Well, you're a podcaster, I'm a broadcaster. We both say things. You see things and you say them. I see things and I say them. I don't got to go back to your past. I go by what you're doing right now. Right now. And what you are doing right now is helping a man who decided to make the world a darker place for people that look like me and you. That's what you've decided to do. That ain't your past. That's last week. That's today. That's something you do all the time. My dislike for you has nothing to do about what you did in your past. It's what you continue to do now by sane-washing the stuff that's going on right now. By sane-washing it. You can talk about my activity in a gang, but nothing I've ever done is as horrible as the things that you abide. And you and I both know what it's like to have somebody bring up your past. You and I both know what it's like to be accused of something you didn't do. But some of us grow up and some don't. Some of us trade places. That's, I think, what's happened to me and you. I've tried to do something about the things I've done. I've tried to do something about the ills that I see. You have signed on for them.
All right, let me go ahead and stop that. Interesting stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not against what DL was saying. He has his right to his opinion. I do not agree with his democratic stance by any stretch of the imagination, but if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. Marcellus Wiley, on the other hand, came with some nukes. I'm not going to lie to you, and there's a reason why I played it second, and I think that I played it on code when it comes to timing is concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and play Marcellus Wiley's clip, and then I'll get to my overall preference or premise, on why we're even doing this video to begin with. Let's go to work.
Is because he thinks that he has to represent all things black, all things democratic, right? If you listen to him, if you guys are fans of him, like I am, and you listen to him, you realize, oh, DL, they bought you. They paid for you. You still enslaved because you're still on a plantation thinking that this is the way it has to be. Okay, I'm going to ask you this, DL. If you think your way is the right way and you're such a black thought leader, where have you led the black community? If you've been watching me, if you're a fan of me, obviously you are to some degree because you know so much about me. Let me tell you this. We have done shows breaking down minority groups, breaking down ethnic groups by socioeconomic categories. And you want to know where black people are? Dead last or second to last in 17 of the major socioeconomic categories. And you leading? Well, if I'm leading people there, guess what? I should either abort the mission and change path, change course, or respect some other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's paths. Because maybe that's the way. Because right now, that ain't it. But this whole aggregation, this whole summation that we all got to be the same, act the same, do the same is the reason why we're in that position. I'm tired of hearing people that say the same thing. Only box I'm going to be in is no box. Stop telling me about this box that you are living by. I'm going to tell you at the end why you live by it, because you're scared. So I'm not the one. I'm not going to let Joe Biden or any politician tell me, you better vote for me if you are black. And you just certainly bought that. He paid for you. I got the text from the Democrats, and I know the Republicans were doing it too. But the point is, blind text, sending them out and sending them to me. 20K, free flight, free hotel, party invites, VIP. You down? Did you ask me, am I voting for you? Are you asking me about my policies? Are you asking me about my family? Are you asking me about what I'm really concerned with? Or are you just throwing some money my way? Well, that worked, because I'm listening to people like DL that obviously took that money and ran with it.
Uh-oh. That's something we've been saying for years, and not just about DL, about a lot of black folk. And that was our biggest issue. And I'm not even going to stop. I'm going to stop saying R because my cousin's not on the platform right now. I say R because we did a lot of the shows together that I'm speaking on when it comes to DL. But my personal thought is I don't give a damn who you vote for. I'm not going to be bought or manipulated or influenced by any political party. And anytime you've seen me come on the platform and speak negatively about the Democrats, it's because they tried to sell us a bunch of hogwash, a bunch of bullshit. And Republicans didn't sell us anything because Republicans didn't feel like we were going to vote for them to begin with. Another full transparency moment for you guys when it comes to me. I didn't vote this last election. I didn't find anybody worthy enough to vote for. I didn't vote in the election previous to that one when it was Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I didn't see anybody worth voting for. Now, Donald Trump's first term, I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of black people thought. We didn't get hung. We didn't get this, that, the third. In fact, I made a lot of money during his 4 years. So I was listening to what he had to say, and I was not nervous about him going in to presidency for a second term, whether it had been last term or this present term that he's currently in. Perfectly honest with you, I'm not a big fan of what he's doing currently. I'm not a fan of what's going on these first year or so in office. That's another story for another day. But DL and other people like DL, they get paid by the Democratic Party. They get paid to speak a certain way, to move a certain way, to be influenced by black people so that we can continue along this same hamster wheel of bullshit. And I applaud Marcellus Wiley for freely thinking. Do I agree with everything he said on his platform? Of course I don't. But I still respect him as a man because he freely thinks. He's not manipulated by any of the political parties. I appreciate that, because I think more of us need to stop being manipulated by any type of party or trying to be influenced by Democrats or Republicans because that's what our family did or this is what. No, let's hold these motherfuckers to the fire, hold their feet to the fire, and really get some things moving when it comes to the black community. And we had a great conversation with a brother named Maxwell Billy on a couple of days ago. I'm going to play a little bit. I'll play, no matter of fact, I dropped his interview in its entirety. You can go ahead and watch that. That's on the platform now. But I'm going to start dropping bits and pieces of that interview as well, because he talks about this very thing and how we can't be manipulated and how we can't be bought and how we can't just be so brainwashed by one way just because this is what we're accustomed to or this is what they try to feed us. I salute Marcellus for that. And I'm glad that he is one of the only people outside of our platform that I've seen hold people to the political fire, in particular DL, when it comes to, yeah, mother, you getting paid. Yeah, you got a couple dollars behind you. You got a couple dollars in your pocket to move this way or act this way or dance this way or dance that way. Like we seen Megan Thee Stallion twerking or Beyonce this or whatever the case may be when it comes to those campaigns that we've seen countless times. So I applaud DL. I applaud Marcellus for going out saying what he said. I'm not mad at DL for what we heard him say. You know what I mean? Because I do think that we should be able to judge a person by their present and not their past, and not go by people's past transgressions and let that influence what we think about them right now if they're moving a different way right now. That being said, yeah, that nigga get paid. Come on now. But y'all leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this situation. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. God damn, it felt good to come back on here, get behind this microphone, and do my thing. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Until next time, till next story, Sandman, CEO of the brand File Hip Hop News. I love each and every one of y'all, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Love yourselves, and most importantly, love yours. I'm out. Peace. Oh, I didn't end this shit? Dang. All right, hold on.